All right, so I got everything apart. I didn't want to do all that on camera because of YouTube silliness. I'm not even going to tell you the last time I've cleaned all this stuff because it is nasty, and you're going to see just how nasty an AR pattern rifle can get here in just a second. So if this offends you, then probably click away. Seriously, I have certainly lubed this rifle multiple times, but in terms of actual cleaning, to tell you that I don't remember the last time I cleaned this gun is an understatement of fairly epic proportions. So just be aware of that. Yes, this is old as dirt. I've got key mod still, not M-lock. I am not one of the cool kids. I'm so far out of cool kid territory that I don't even know. Let's see. Oh yeah, and I don't even have a surefire light on my rifle. This is a through night. And you know what's funny is I've had this thing on my rifle now for over a year, and it just keeps working, guys. Like, you know, I keep waiting for it to fail. You know, if it fails, I'll get another light. I will call the experiment done and good. But, you know, like I said, it just keeps working. And from that perspective, I have a real hard time like ditching it. I'm like, well, it's still working, and it's bright. Like, it's really nice and bright. Like 1800 lumens with the candela, man, is friggin' excellent. So, whatever. And the upper's a Blem BCM upper with some other BCM parts on it. BCM lightweight barrel, pinned and welded muzzle device. Oh, so much carbon everywhere. I'm not going to get crazy about scraping the bolt tail like some people want their bolt tail to be pristine. This thing's nasty. I am going to clean it some, don't get me wrong. I think I got a, do I have a specific scraper for? Thought I had a specific scraper for the back, but now of course obviously it's somewhere. Heck if I know where somewhere is, but I think I'm down to just using the brass cartridge, which is okay. It's not the end of the world. Brass is a nice soft metal, and so if you need to go scraping at stuff, brass is usually where I go. Oh man, there is a lot of carbon back here. Like I said, I'm not anal about it, but I definitely want to clean off some of it just because it's offending me a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if you can see, but a lot of carbon is coming off. And I don't know, that's probably pretty good. Did I dump the other nasty one? No, there it is. To give you some idea of how long it's been since I've cleaned this thing, like right now, I can't even get the extractor off of the frickin' bolt. Like, that pin seems to be seized. It might be time for me to just buy another bolt. I mean, I could resort to some hammering and stuff, but at the end of the day, man, I think that this bolt is actually gone through enough rounds to where it might just be time to just sink another one and retire this one. I mean, heck, for that matter, I got some spare bolt carriers that I could just take the whole bolt carrier out and say, hey, all right, thank you for your service. But it still keeps running, so it's hard for me to do that when everything just keeps working. I realize that everything works right up until it does not, and that's always the factor. Gas key's solid, it's not going anywhere. Yeah. And at the end of the day, guys, I'm not so worried about this that I'm gonna lose my brain. I'm not going to overly clean this. I mean, you can see just how freaking dirty this thing is. Like, it's pretty nasty. I think you're starting to get the sense that this bolt carrier is not phosphated, but it's actually nickel. How's that for nasty? Like you're just now starting to tell. If that gives you some idea of just how nasty I've let things get. Probably I am a whole study in don't let your guns get this dirty. Yeah, see, you can start to actually see that, oh look, it's nickel, not phosphate. It's just really, really dirty nickel. Oh, it's coming away not completely nasty. So we're in the ballpark of how far I'm going to go on the bolt carrier. And I think all these parts are actually pretty good. I am going to swab out the upper. I am going to punch the bore. I'm not going to get crazy about it, but I am going to get in here and clean out stuff, which I'm sure the inside of the upper is probably disgusting, as only an upper can be when you have let it fester and get nasty, all the pieces parts. Ooh. That I mentioned the do as I say, not as I do in terms of cleanliness. So clean your rifle every now and again, guys. It doesn't have to be pristine. It really doesn't. Like I am living proof of that. Like this thing is, man, it's nasty as nasty can be, but it still keeps running. I will, like I said, I will punch the bore. I will re-lube everything afterwards. And a reasonable amount of lube, guys. Like I run my rifle, and I'm sure if you've seen my pistol, I run them pretty wet. Like I don't run them dry. I keep running into veterans who spent an inordinate amount of time overseas, little global war on terror, and they're kind of leery about lubrication. And I get it. If you're in a sandy, silty environment, man, that makes sense to me. I live on the east coast of the United States of America, and in that area, I'm not dealing with desert conditions. I am sometimes dealing with rifles and other firearms that are not well lubricated and choke. I've seen that more than once. I have yet to see, at least in my experience, a gun that was so lubricated that it stopped working, with one exception actually. And that exception is a SIG P320, which the firearm that I love the most and is the most awesomest firearm that was ever created, the SIG P320. And the lower, the fire control group, if you get... So as I was saying, sorry, camera rudely interrupted, with the SIG P320, if you put enough lube down in the fire control unit, it'll start to gum up, and then the trigger won't reset, it'll stick. And then you're gonna have to either pull the trigger forward on every shot, but to really, really fix the problem, you're actually gonna have to pull the whole firing control unit, the chassis, out of the gun, take it outside someplace so you're saving your poor lungs and everything, spray it down mercilessly with gun scrubber or brake clean or something like that, let it dry, put a very slight amount of REM oil or something on the moving parts, don't get crazy, put it back in, the end, then it'll work. Failing that, guys, if you don't do that, it won't ungum. Yes, Vortec. Not too stinky, works pretty good. And let's see, I need the little round patches. Woo! Dumping everything. Pardon me for being a mess. Prep pad's not as good as alcohol, for the record, but let's see. Yeah, round patches for the bore. Well, let's see. I usually just I spear one, throw a little bit of Vortec eliminator on it, and then run it through a few times to get the bore nice and wet. I'll let it sit, go back through the nylon brush. All right, so here's the deal, guys. My camera overheated a bunch of times. I did not record a lot of this. I don't know what recorded, what didn't. I'll piece it all together at the end. But if you look at all this, I have mostly cleaned this rifle. Now, rest assured that if a military armorer were to get hold of this, they would probably have apoplexy because it's still not like inspection clean. Don't care. But what it is right now for me is functionally clean. Like I said, I probably need a new bolt because the extractor, it ain't even coming off. Like it's like, nope, sorry, not going to go anywhere. You are screwed. The end of story. That's fine. Don't care. But that said, guys, I'm going to lube it, put it back together. I'll be shooting it sometime this week and we'll see what it does. I am probably preemptively going to order another bolt though. I really am. If BCM has any in stock, I'll probably just order another one, man, because I tell you what, BCM's treated me right. I know there's Guccier stuff out there, but here's the thing, guys. At the end of the day, that intersection of price versus works, BCM has always worked for me. I know I'm aware of one time somebody got like kind of a bum bolt from them, but BCM made it right. Every BCM upper that I've ever played with good ammo was shooting somewhere around 1 minute of angle, which for a AR-15 is really all I can ask. I don't need sub MOA. I think that it's probably possible with a semi-auto gun. Like some people say, you can't get that kind of accuracy out of a semi-auto. I suspect you can, but at the end of the day, is it really going to make a difference for me? And the answer is negative. Some of you guys, maybe some of you guys are like, man, I'm so accurate. I need that. Gas ring's still good, by the way. So good to go there. Yeah. Good news is everywhere where there's wear, that's where I put the juice. Woo, all right. Like I said, I don't know if this is ready for another 20,000 rounds. It might not handle that now because of how much wear and tear and abuse this thing is eaten. But that said, man, this rifle, it's right now still ticking. I may, on a lark, test it for accuracy as well and see if it's still put in groups that I would expect. Man, it's probably getting time in terms of maybe new barrel, maybe new rail, heck, maybe new upper. Not that this one's a piece of garbage, man. It's treated me well. Did I mention this light? It still keeps working. Cheap, effective, through night. You know, is Surefire bad? Hell no. Like, you know, Mod Light, Cloud, all those guys, man, they make awesome lights. But I've had pretty good luck with the through night, and it doesn't suffer from some of the same goofy stuff that you get out of Olight. Anyways, guys, I'll end this here. I'm gonna have to piece together this video between all the overheats. GoPro Hero 11, there's things I like about it, but man, the overheat thing, that kind of is annoying. The lower, I'm just gonna wipe out real quick and then stick a little lube on the wear points. And that's gonna be it for the rifle for now. Anyways, guys, I'll end this here. Hope it's been somewhat entertaining, or at least some ASMR to keep you entertained as you're going about your other business. My usual videos are obviously a little more polished than this, but I was like, heck, I gotta clean guns, so what the heck, why not? Anyways, guys, take care, stay safe. I'll talk to you soon.
Get 'em, Jay.